to Consulate. Guys, have a good time with this one.
Thank you very much, Elfish. And this ban very quick coming out of Fnatic, wasting no time coming into it. And that's a straight Lion ban. No surprises coming out. Fnatic have banned it every single map so far.
Yeah,
what are we on, 5 for 5 now?
Channeling their inner G2, except for the one.
Do you reckon any of the players have signed that petition?
Don't know. Interesting thought. But Xavier are taking their time, and this is what we saw from them yesterday, aren't they? Very casual in how they like to do their bans and their operator picks as well.
Certainly. Ooh, and this is interesting. Xavier targeting that Dokkaebi ban. Of course, we have seen Fnatic pick that Dokkaebi up a lot.
Yes.
So very targeted ban here by Xavier.
Yeah, it definitely did play a bit of havoc with them, didn't it? Of course, but they're going to follow up with a rather quick ban on the opposite side for defense. It is going to be Maestro.
Yeah, and the changes we've seen here, the adaptations from Xavier, pushing into their operator bans, really targeting what they believe has been very vital picks for Fnatic.
Yeah, and then of course the final ban coming out from Fnatic is going to be that Clash once again.
No surprises again. Yeah. That's 5 for 5 from the Fnatic squad.
And you know, I suppose that's kind of the advantage you can have when you're making these strategies. If you know what you're going to ban beforehand. Like, of course, it's the old thing of, do you ban to try and counter-strat the opponent, or do you ban in ways that you've stratted out? And it looks like Fnatic are saying, all right, every time we're going to ban these two operators, let's work our strategies around what we've done there.
Yeah, and they're very generic bans though as well. Like we just don't want to deal with a Lion when we're on defense. You know, Fnatic like roaming, they like late roamings, they like flanking, like doing all that sort of stuff. And of course Lion shuts that down because it means they have to stop moving, which can really screw with some of their timings that they like to go for. So, you know, that really, Lion is a great ban for them because of their playstyle individually.
Yeah, we saw that Montagne come out once again for Producer Boom as well. I'm assuming they're going to stick with that and not 6th pick off it. Indeed, they are. No 6th picks at all here.
The split bomb site by Fnatic.
Once again.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
You said you didn't like this. I said I want it to be more explored. I just don't like the whole Visa side.
I didn't like it. I don't like this bomb site personally, and I didn't like Fnatic's hold of it because they got absolutely wrecked yesterday on it.
Yeah, I believe it was a flawless, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a flawless for Sengoku. So I really don't... Maybe they're testing the waters with Xavier again, but I think this is more of a cheese. Maybe we might be able to come up with something, because I think a lot of teams have sort of neglected that this is a bomb site, so they might not have prepped an attack for it. So maybe if they can pick up a cheap cheese win here.
Yeah, the reason why they haven't prepped an attack for it is because it's so, like, it's once again that Tellers on border where, you know, you just jump in through the window and plant. Like, of course, we have seen that Tellers is, of course, viable, but, you know, you just need to take control of Visa, push on into the bomb site in the office there, and plant on a desk so they can't see Voyu.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to be very interested to see what they're going to do, and it looks like they're going to come straight through Garage here, maybe.
Yeah, so they're looking on taking these fights downstairs. They've got a mirror from Lusty set up. That is a very smart decision or position for that in terms of this bomb site. Yeah,
going to lock down that garage pretty heavily, but Red Sun going to be opening up right in front of this white van. He's going to be able to walk his way in with impunity because the mirror will not be able to see him. And with a face shield versus a black mirror, we're going to have to see who comes up ahead on that.
Yeah, the only thing Lusty's really going to have to worry about is if they open the floor into cafeteria and then start wallbanging that area.
Yeah, Producer Boom on this Monty going to be pushing his way down. He sees that the door's pushed in, so he can potentially just waltz his way through. The mirror gets popped, and then Echo Drone comes out. Hajime picks up the first kill on the Magnet, but Neo is going to trade him straight back out.
Yeah, there we go. Good teamwork, but Neophyter is getting hunted right now. Lycolis just missing the shots, unfortunately for him, but Neophyter is gone down to just above 50 HP.
Yep, Neo has to go to ground right now, and he has to just sit tight and make sure he doesn't get pushed. He is essentially stuck in a corner, and he needs to hope that that Xavier decides to just ignore him.
This is where Fnatic would traditionally send the cavalry to help back him up there. But, you know, he's still alive, so... And Lusty is also going to find Red Sun as well. The mirror that was pushed off earlier is going to come back and reclaim it. But now, I believe Neo's dead. In fact, he's going to get the shot onto Producer Boom. Healthcare's going to eventually clean up Rizraz and Lycolis onto Neo. But, wow, that should not have happened, and we're into a 2v2 game.
Yeah, what really should be a 2v3 right now. Producer Boom gets a little bit too aggressive, and Neo makes him pay for it with his life. But Ace is at the back of bomb site right now. Lusty on the other side of the map downstairs. And Xavier, they need to sort of come up with something here. I think they need to group up and they need to push down and take these 2-on-1 fights.
The top floor bomb site's completely free, and there's only the C4 of Mira that could actually try and deny that from below. Like, they're going to see it's clear, they're going to run in, they're going to plant, and there's not going to be much denial that Fnatic can do. Of course, they do have those echoes, but is that going to last in the 30 seconds that's required?
No, not at all. And if they plant on the desk, which is what they're going to do, there's no way they can stop this with the C4. And Lycolis is going to go for the plant, but here comes the Yokai drone from Aces. And it will get spotted out. It will get taken out, though. He goes on to his second one, but Healthcare has managed to down Lusty, and amongst all this, that plant is going to go down. 10 seconds left. He could be able to stop this. Aces needs to go for it. He's managed to keep it alive so far, but I think he's out of charges. 2 seconds left. It's going to go down because he's not going to be able to interrupt it.
Yeah, Ace is going to run up the spiral stairs. I think he might try and get a revive on for Lusty here so they can retake in a 2-on-2. In fact, that is going to be the case. So, I think Fnatic are going to play this one a bit slower than what Ace would have earlier. Yeah,
definitely, and that was the right decision to make. And look at that, they're going to actually rotate. Fnatic trying to look for a pincer move here as, you know, Aces is going to go up around. Lusty's going to try and hold it downstairs.
This is very tight here, and Aces, he's going to get the timing and the down there onto the Zofia, leaving it all up to Lycolis. He is going to start taking some damage and go down to Aces again in the end. That's the beautiful retake from Fnatic, and they do take... Oh, is there?
I think there is. I think there is enough time. Yep, yeah, there is. Yep, Magnet called it. That was a good play there by the Fnatic squad. The two team members, Aces and Lusty, being able to push their way in from separate angles and pick up the refrags that they needed.
Split bomb site successfully held.
Split some bomb site successfully held. It wasn't the cleanest in the world, but Fnatic managed to pull it out. And you're right, that is a round win for Fnatic there on what is arguably the weakest bomb site on the map. Yeah,
well, into the next defensive round, are we expecting Garage or top floor?
I'm expecting Garage here by Fnatic. It is what they favored after the split bomb fight. The split bomb site failed yesterday, so that is what I'm expecting to see.
Yeah, well, if you remember when they played this yesterday, they did ban the Thermite as well, so it kind of leads into, you know, Garage being easier to defend when there's no Thermite on the board. They're going to have to open up with the X-Kairos or the Breaching Blowtorch.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to have to see whether that Thermite gets taken. It is going to get taken, and you're right, it is top floor.
Yeah, so that's a slight adaptation there from Fnatic. Especially... So I believe yesterday the line was banned for them, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe. Well, it would have had to have been, wouldn't it? Where are the bans for it? Yeah, they banned Thermite and Lion was banned by Sengoku. You're right.
Yes.
No, other way around. Sorry, Thermite was banned by Sengoku.
Was it?
Yep. Lion Clash banned by Fnatic.
I'll trust you on that one, Flea, but I still don't believe you. But while we're discussing that, the setup was going on. Looks like we're going to see that mirror over in the break room area. Pretty standard one, isn't it?
Very much is. And, you know, we're just seeing these spawn peaks being carefully watched here by Xavier. Nothing really going to come from it at all, though.
Yeah, Producer Boom really getting at range, really looking for that banana, but he does have the scope to do that.
Certainly does, and that red dot can be devastating, the Russian red dot, so really nothing really coming from it just yet. It looks like we're going to see a fairly standard attack here out of Xavier. It does look like they're going to go for some window repels, and that run out is going to be very well held by Xavier as well.
Yeah, well, it looks like Xavier are thinking that their first port of call will be this admin office. Of course, there's that mirror, and I believe Neo playing in the corner there. So, you know, it's not going to be something done by Healthcare on his own. He's going to need some support here.
He certainly is, and, you know, Neo on that back corner, he's pinged out, so they know where he is. Healthcare just going to hold the angle, but Neo doesn't really need to be worried unless he hears some repel noises.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if someone went into Visa below with some frag grenades, although there are no operators with frag grenades. Maybe Healthcare below with the impacts could flush Neo out of that position.
Producer could also do it with the OTS. And we'll have to see whether or not it comes out. We could also see Red Sun do it with the Deagle to try and push him out. But for now, Neophyter can just sit tight and hold tight, and he should be fine.
Yeah, well, Lycolis on the BB windows is just going to be droning on out, isn't he? Seeing what he can see. Which is, once again, it's a whole lot of nothing, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no one in the cubby holding the A bomb site, and there's no one, holding the B bomb site.
But they do have the stairs opened up, ready for someone to hang out on extra stairs and shoot on into the bomb site.
Yeah, certainly they do, and we're going to have to see whether Xavier are going to feel comfortable to try and push in. Not quite yet. It seems like they want to get control of the yellow stairs first, and they just might be able to do it.
Yeah,
but
well, minute on the clock.
Left, yeah,
they're going to have to go fast. And we still got Producer Boom sitting at range. Like, one of the things we saw in Fnatic versus Sengoku on this map is them jumping out quite a lot. But, Xavier have given them no reason to.
Yeah, no, they really haven't. And Xavier have sort of just sat back at the moment. It's been a very passive attack so far. They haven't managed to gain any ground whatsoever. Magnus pushed his way in. He gets wallbang though. Hajime takes him out of the map, and he's going to have to sit down and now IGL from the sidelines. Yeah, but
there's 25 seconds. Xavier are going to have to pull something out fast. They've not got any meaningful map control. They're still repelling outside. Rizraz is going to find Hajime as Lycolis is going to jump on in. There is that Echo drone, but that's quickly spotted out, but Lusty has found Red Sun. Oh, Producer Boom missing his shots, but he hasn't missed that one. Rizraz has been sent to his grave as Neophyter's going to fire on through the smoke. Safe 4 from below for Lusty, and there is no time here for Xavier.
Yeah, the plant's going to go down as they did manage to finally take out that last Echo drone. And I think after all said and done, it gets stopped by Aces there. Producer Boom gets taken out. Fnatic successfully defend top floor.
Yeah, as soon as they started that plant, as soon as the clock hit 0, there was no chance. One person to cover against the 3 retaking members of Fnatic. Probably not going to work.
No, probably not going to work, and it needed to have been an absolute hero play for the, two members of Xavier. But alas, not going to happen. A current 2-0 scoreline for Fnatic. This opening stage has gone pretty rough for Xavier, considering that the attack should be their strongest point of the map.
Yeah, of course, and that's what we were saying earlier as well. Like, the attack is where they've looked the best, but it has been 2 to Fnatic and not much response from Xavier. They have looked decent, especially that first round, but then again, it's probably the least favored bomb site on the map.
Yeah, but the thing was, that was a very passive attack from Xavier. They ran the clock down really, really hard, didn't leave themselves with an awful lot of time, especially since they knew that the bomb site was clear themselves. They potentially could have been able to start baiting some of that stuff out earlier while they had more team members alive.
It was more of like, it seemed like no one really wanted to try and make the play.
Yeah.
And then they realized that, we're going to have to do something. So, let's go for this. And, they could have spent their time focusing on something. Like we saw the Producer Boom, I believe, check out, pushing into admin, but he decided not to because he was just solo. Like, if they all focused up, they could have got in maybe with some trades, but at least, they're gaining meaningful map control.
Yeah, certainly, but as it is, very passive round, so that goes over to Fnatic with a good retake. Xavier now going to be having to attack the lobby here. So Fnatic avoiding that basement bomb site, that garage hold, that traditionally was their main bomb site, you could say, or at least their secondary bomb site.
Yeah, well, of course, with Thermo on the board, it is a lot harder to hold, especially with how easily, the garage can be opened up. I'm surprised that we're not seeing Xavier pick a Maverick, though, to help counter that.
Yeah, that does sort of, a Maverick in itself does sort of nullify the whole hold of garage, because you can very easily deny the bandit trick with not a lot of response coming back out. But we'll have to see whether or not Xavier are going to be able to push out this top floor, because it looks like this is what they want to do. They want to take control of this top floor.
Yeah, that being said, we haven't seen much Maverick play the whole weekend, and when we have, it seems like he's always been dying through the holes he's been making, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he really has been. Mavericks have been punished time and time again for their own little peak holes. And if you are aware that a Maverick is behind you trying to open things up, of course, his own peak holes, that's a banana. Healthcare manages to find Aces, and he's going to be taken off the board. That's the Echo being caught out on his own drone.
That is not an operator you want going down at this point. Aces He should not be dying in that position. I think he felt he was safe, but think again, buddy.
Yep, think again indeed. He's going to have to sit out from the sidelines. Of course, he does have access to all the information tools that Fnatic have for them now. Neophyte is going to trade back out healthcare. That's the Glads being taken off the board. No more banana vision for Xavier, but not the biggest pick up in the, not the biggest loss in the world at the moment for them.
Yeah, they're still going to contest with the Yang, so that utility could really punish when Xavier decide to go for the plant. Of course, I think they're going to want to make sure that this top floor area here in Projector is clear before they even think about that kind of thing. But that's a C4 from Lusty. That's 2 in 2 rounds with his mirror C4. Kaboom. See you later, Lycolis.
Yeah, not really having much of it, and the smoke grenade coming out, stopping Red Sun from pushing his way in. Red Sun gets tagged from the side, doesn't manage to land much back at all. And now thinking about pushing his way in, there is still one above him, so he's not really going to be able to make his way in. Rizraz holding down in the piano room, but Hajime has something to say about that and manages to take him out. He runs all the way back down, but through the hatch, Magnet puts an end to him, and he does manage to drop at the end. No! Producer Boom, he didn't go for the shot, tried to go for the knife. Lusty turns around and just puts a vector to his face. You're not going to win that, as Lusty is going to get the final kill there. And I do not know what Producer Boom was thinking just then.
Oh no, that round is going to Fnatic, easy as you like. You really felt like Xavier, a few critical errors there.
Yes, there were some massive critical errors there, and Lusty, I think he gets away with his life more based on luck than anything. Producer Boom trying to go for the swag knife. Lusty turns around and just puts a vector clip into his face. You're not going to win that.
Well, you're not going to survive that either. Yeah. But as for the camp of Xavier, what do you think needs to happen here? Do they need a crash again, maybe? Well, that's a joke before anyone wants to start taking that out of context. But
well, you know, if it works, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that...
This is the story of Coastline all over again. Fnatic started off stomping.
3-0. And it's not over yet. We saw Xavier, you know, not let the mental stress of starting so poorly get to them. But I think the difference is we didn't see any clear-cut mistakes on Coastline. We saw some very clear mistakes in that round.
Yeah, that round and in previous as well. Looks like Fnatic are trying to force this split bomb site out once again.
They must really like this bomb site.
Are you writing down round for Xavier?
No, not quite yet. I'm not going to get ahead of myself that much, as Fnatic have successfully defended it once. It has been the closest round so far on this map. So we'll have to see whether or not Xavier can adapt to it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see, you know, a very similar attack from Xavier, but just a slightly different execution to give him a bit more of an upper hand.
You know, I think if you want to hold this bomb site, you go with an Echo, you go with a Valkyrie, you go with a Pulse, and, you know, you go for 2 other C4s as well, right? You have 4 C4s from below, and that's your goal.
The information gatherers. That's what you want out of them, because you're not going to be holding from that first floor. You're going to be holding from above. You're going to be holding from below. So, you know, I think Elysian as well is really, really good on this site. And I think Mira probably rounds it out quite nicely. You know, you use them to gather that information to suppress the attackers and to really reject the movements that they're going to be making, because at the end of the day, you can't hold the sites directly, you have to hold them indirectly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's 30 seconds into this one, and we've got Xavier running around outside still here, healthcare. I really not sure if, you know, there maybe... How do we attack this one? Because it's not something we see much at all. That's a very sneaky peek.
It is, but it's not going to find anything just yet. Healthcare still trying to see what he can. Rizraz sitting behind a solid wall, or else Healthcare would have a good line of sight onto him. And not going to find anything from that. He's going to be able to call that the site is at least somewhat relatively clear. And just drone it out finally. Producer Boom going to be opening up the other side of the map. And just seeing what he can find as well, which is a big fat nothing at the moment. Hajime is made his way into lobby and piano room, just going to be looking down through the floors, finding nothing downstairs as well. And Fnatic, they're giving ground over to Xavier, but Xavier are finding no meaningful intel whatsoever.
Yeah, well, they have gained control of this garage and then on into cafeteria as well. If you remember last time, Lusty got aggressive out of the hallway and found a kill or 2, so I think they might be a bit worried about that one.
Yeah, but Lusty has been taken down to half health as well. And amongst all this, Hajime finally going to switch over to that Commando and take out the Black Eye. That's the second Black Eye that we've seen being taken out. So these cameras being found out, and Magnet going to have to look back to the drawing board as he finds the head of Healthcare. May not have his cameras, but he has his aim.
Yeah, there we go. That has been the Glaz going down. He was repelled up here, I believe, on the spiral stairs. And Magnet punished him. And look, Producer Boom looks like he wants to take that exact same fight.
Yeah.
Or was it a run out from the window?
I think it was a run out. The concussion nade goes out. I don't believe it actually concussed him at all. But like Hollis is going to get concussed from the Yokai. And now they need to be very, very aware of their surroundings. Is when that Yokai comes out, just a little bit of harassment. But we haven't seen any. Actually, something that I really do enjoy seeing that we haven't seen yet this weekend is a battle bots, Twitch versus Yokai.
Yeah, well, Twitch has really not been a popular pick at all, has it?
No, it really hasn't, which is kind of interesting because traditionally the Asian teams of Japan and Korea really favor the Twitch.
Yeah, well, 20 seconds on this one, and Xavier look like they're getting ready to push on to the downstairs bomb site of this one in the server room. They're going to have to absolutely put their pedal to the metal here because time is not on their side.
Oh, and here comes Aces peeking out onto the Blackbeard. Doesn't manage to take him out as Rizraz and amongst all this has found Producer Boom. Aces finally finds the head of Red Sun. Aces picks him up as second. Aces gets a 3K for himself, and Fnatic successfully defends split bomb again.
4 in a row for the Fnatic boys. They have definitely looked a lot stronger here on Consulate.
Yep, we do have a tactical pause coming out for Xavier at this point now. 4 in a row lost. That's not really surprised that they're going to use their tac pause here.
Do you reckon that this tac pause is a bit late? I was thinking maybe when they're 3-0 down.
No, I don't think it really is, as 3-0 was not the end of the world for them. I think 4-0, because, you know, it is still at minimum 2 rounds that they can lose going off, but
Dizzle looks really happy, might I just interject? He does.
Yeah, Dizzle should be very happy right now, right? Well, this is a showing from Fnatic so far. But yeah, I think the tac pause is at the right point of the game. I think you can do it at either you know, 3rd round or 4th round down. So, because you still have a couple of rounds at that point. So either or, if they used it at the next round, at the end of the next round, that would probably be a little bit too late right there.
Especially if they do lose this coming up one, right?
Does it really seem like Magnet's arguing with Dizzle right there? Like,
are you sure about that, Dizzle?
Like, so, but you can see, you know, Dizzle there just giving all the props to his team. He's making full use of this tac pause as well, making sure that they're going back to their basics and keeping up the good work that they're doing. But it really does look like devastation on the side of Xavier at this point, doesn't it? Like,
I was going to ask you about that. What's this look here? Just, like, I don't know. I think like they might be trying to have that attitude of, you know, just go out there and have fun. But like you can really tell that it is starting to get to them. Like they are the underdog in this one, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. But you can just see the level of communication differences between the two teams. Every single member of the Fnatic lineup, including Dizzle, was getting their, you know, was talking, bringing up a viewpoint, trying to come up with something, and no one was talking on the side of Xavier. Like very, you know, just very different attitudes towards it, and I think it could be a bit of an issue coming up here. If you're not using your tac pause to work out your issues and how to move forward, you're not using your tac pause rightly.
Yeah, well, here we go into the final round of the half. Fnatic, you know, look at those kills. They are stepping up there, Lusty and Aces.
Double donut for Red Sun still, though, you know. Repping that double donut.
Well, let's not focus too much on that. He has had a very impressive performance this week, and just Consulate's not really his map.
Yeah. So, but 6 kills apiece for Lusty and Aces, really doing some work for this Fnatic squad.
Yeah, it seems like the whole of Fnatic on Consulate here is playing as a very tight-knit unit, aren't they? Yeah. They are not letting Xavier take any inches to turn into miles.
No, not at all. Definitely doing a really, really strong hold. So, do you think we're going to see a flawless half here out of Fnatic, or do you think they're going to be able to drop this top floor bomb site?
I reckon we are. I think, you know, we can say from this point that, you know, we are going to see Fnatic at the International LAN Finals in Brazil.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Fnatic have looked a cut above. They could go a flawless half here, as that door is continually being popped out from either side. Both sides not really wanting that front door there, but no, both of them leave it up and walk away. So,
although, you know, we were saying last map that, oh, Xavier are down and out of this one, but they proved us wrong. Yeah, they did come back. They didn't find the W, so
put it into overtime.
Yeah, like, I don't want to put them in the grave too soon. It's really feeling like it might be likely.
That coffin is at least loaded and ready to lower.
Yeah, they've got 1 foot in it.
Yeah, definitely. So, Xavier, they need to sort of pull their foot out of that coffin to keep that analogy rolling. And I really think that Xavier, they can do it. They've seen that their mental fortitude is at least somewhat there. We'll have to see to what extent, though, as Producer Boom gets so aggressive, but then realizes that there's probably someone behind him.
Oh, that's a lot of damage as well from the shotgun of Magnet there. He's going to put Producer down to under half HP.
Certainly is. He's going to have to really get... Why didn't he... I think he probably should have used his flash there onto Magnet, the Rizraz, sorry, on that stairwell. I'm so used to Magnet playing the Legion, but Red Sun just going to smoke his way out and jump his way in. He is in really early. He has the plant. He has the diffuser as well. Sorry, Producer Boom's going to get gassed out. Magnet gets the kill credit onto that. Red Sun does get taken out. There's the plant denied as Hajime picks up one, like Coles picks up one. Healthcare also picks up one. Rizraz trades out into Hajime though, and this has gone thick and fast. We are now down to a 2-on-2 here.
What just happened?
Xavier made a play. That's what happened. We finally saw them do something, and it sort of kind of worked out. Like Hollis now trying to go for the plant behind the bomb here. And Healthcare is going to be on the oversight. Rizraz can get it from either side, but it does go down. He puts a couple of rounds into Like Hollis. Like Hollis gets taken really low. Neo is, I believe, below trying to take him out. But they're going to have to just keep an eye on the diffuser.
Yeah, we're going to see the peek here from Rizraz was close as Neophyte is going to tap the diffuser. Riz, he's not holding his angle. And Healthcare going to double down there and put the first round on the board for Xavier. You know, that attack pause has helped him out, but that was one of those rounds which was all pandemonium.
Yeah, it really was. They pushed in. There was a clear bomb site for them to go with, so they smoked it out. They used the asphyxiation bolts, and they tried to get that plant down. Unfortunately, you know, there was enough resources there from Fnatic to deny that initial plant, but there wasn't enough left over to be able to deny the second run.
Yeah, well, half switch now. Fnatic on the attack, Xavier on defense. Now, Consulate, one of those maps where we always say that defense is a bit easier. Like, of course, you know, there are a lot of angles the attackers can take from you, especially from outside. But when you're working in a coordinated team, it's so easy to deny that map control that the attackers need.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Xavier on their defense now, you have to be a little bit worried for them, as their defenses, as we said, have not been fantastic this weekend so far. And we're going to have to see what they can pull out.
Yeah, well, I think it might be a bit of another pause here as well. It's taking a while to load in, so is that would that be Fnatic pause?
Yeah, that would have to be Fnatic pause. Only one tac pause per map. So, yeah, it would have to be, you know, Dizzle call for that tac pause and just having a quick chat to his team.
I think that's such a good idea as well. We see Xavier put around on the board. We're going to try and once again arrest that momentum that Xavier might be picking up.
Yeah, exactly. And also just maybe just have a chat to his team about maybe, you know, just don't let it get to you. It's only one round, guys. You're still 4 up. You're still 2 away from going to Brazil. You're still 2 away from going to the International in Montreal. So just, you know, play your own thing and do your own thing. Just don't let it worry you too much.
Yeah, well, Operator's locked in. Neophyte on the Finker this time.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
How many times are you going to make that joke this weekend? That's what I think about
Until it stops making me chuckle.
All right, but the IQ being 6 picked out for a Blackbeard, and we saw a Vigil get subbed in there on Producer Boom.
Oh. All right, we're going to see Xavier take the split bomb site too.
Yeah, maybe they know something unknown about this bomb site. It's, you know, fully possible. But it's very interesting to see split bomb site being so popular.
Look, are they going to fully reinforce over into Garage?
Yeah, I think they are. And it's not a bad idea to do. We did see Fnatic just leave it unreinforced, but have that mirror looking into it to try and hold it like that. If you want to do a bit more of an aggressive hold or an absolute hold, you can reinforce the Garage.
Yeah, that's Healthcare doing that as well. He's put the bandit batteries down, but surely someone's just going to peek in from exit stairs and shoot those batteries if that's the case. Like,
yeah, if
it feels like a lot of wasted utility.
Yeah, it is a lot of utility put onto the Garage wall. Maybe they're going to be having someone up in potentially, you know, the piano room or holding yellow stairs as it is, and if someone walks in, just peek down the yellow stairs and be able to shoot them out.
Yeah, it's be interesting to see the attack strategy here from Fnatic. How exactly are they planning on playing this one? And, you know, judging by their positions, I think they're going to try and take control of Visa nice and quickly. Yep,
I think that's what they want. It's going to be a top-down push by Fnatic. They're going to clear out, take control of, you know, the admin office, and then try and drop down and plant from there, potentially. Not having a Thermite means they probably can't attest the horizontal play from Garage across, which means they do have to sort of limit themselves to a top-down play.
Yeah, so how about this for a hold? It seems like Xavier is split all across 3 levels of the map at this point. Going to see some nades coming on in, do some damage to Lycolis, but he is still alive as he's going to place one of those prismas down. That's going to kill him though. Neofighter with the Kobe. Sent Lycolis to his death.
Manages to land the coconut there very, very perfectly, and just really not much you can do about that. If you're going to sit there, you sort of need an ADS to back you up, or just hope that they don't have nades, and Fnatic always bring grenades.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't rely on that, Flea. That is a silver strat if I ever heard one. I hope they don't bring grenades.
But now, Healthcare, he does get... I think he's feeling a little bit worried right now. He's feeling probably a little bit claustrophobic. He does get spotted out, and they are aware that he's there. The smoke bolts come out from Fnatic as they are going to push their way in. He did manage to get his way out, but Magnet did peek it. So they do know he's out, and I believe he's just standing on the other side of that doorway, just waiting for Fnatic to push their way in.
Yeah, he is still alive, but there's another drone to come on in and point out his position, as 2 members of Fnatic have now made their way into the admin office.
Yeah, they certainly have. And Neofighter being very, very careful of these runouts. A couple of shots coming down through from that projector room, and they're both staring at each other through the wall. Magnet wins the trade, though, manages to head on Hajime. Rizraz gets himself a kill onto Healthcare. Finally, they push that out, but a run from Producer Boom will get the nice flank. Producer Boom loses a fight towards, I believe that was Neo on the side. He does get down. Red Sun has pushed his way in to try and make sure he can get the kill credit, and he does. Picks up Neofighter as Neo tries to go for the kill secure, and nothing really coming from it. With 30 seconds left, Red Sun has had to leave Producer Boom on his own. I think that's a mistake, and I think he should have picked him up.
Yeah, well, what's he going to do right now? He is going to take the long way around to get the revive, but that's the plant down, and time's already almost a quarter down. Xavier going to have to pick up the speed right here, but I think this might be around here for Fnatic.
Yep, well, we saw Fnatic try and do something really, really similar in the first round, which they successfully did. Whether or not Xavier can replicate that, but through the floor, Lusty gets hit, and he's going to drop. Producer Boom finds Lusty, a beautiful outplay there. That's another one as Magnet finds Red Sun. So now it is a 1 versus 2. Very low health Producer Boom, though.
Yeah, he's going to see Magnet coming from behind, but Magnet's going to land that shot, and Fnatic match point, series point, Rio point, as well as Invitational point.
Yeah, they are set to go all the way here. One more round is all Fnatic is interested in right now. If they can stop it at round 7 here, they will certainly be happy with themselves.
Yeah, definitely Fnatic looking like a whole different beast here on Consulate. I suppose, if you look at the first part of Coastline, that's what they're looking like.
Yeah, really it is, but they've managed to actually pull it across throughout the entire map now. But that being said, Xavier, they've had their back against this wall before, and they've come out really powerful, really strong. So let's see whether or not they can keep fighting from the corner they're in.
Yeah, caged animal can often fight the hardest, of course.
That is true. We might not even be seeing Villa.
Yeah, I don't think we are, honestly. I said, I don't want to call it too early, but from what we've seen so far, I think it is written in stone.
Yeah, well, if not, they definitely have that chisel out, and they are chopping away at it, trying to get their signatures into it. And, we're going to be going to...
Back to Split.
Split again. I think this is a mistake, Monkey.
As much as I say I want to see this explored, I have to agree with you. This is not the time to be exploring this bomb site.
Yeah, 3 people of Fnatic on 6 kills, and then Magnet on 5 as well. So, very, very even kill spread out of the Fnatic squad. Yeah,
definitely. Aces and Lusty haven't found a frag for a few rounds, and if that's the case, then...
Yeah, definitely has to be the case. And Xavier really... I don't think this is going to work. I think they'd had to change their bomb site to be able to win this.
Yeah, well, we got 3 minutes or thereabout to find out how this is going to go. Are Xavier going to continue to fight, or are Fnatic going to be emerging victorious?
Well, that is what this round will answer, Monkey. And as we are moving forward, it looks like Fnatic, they have their attack planned out. They know what they want to do. We'll have to see whether or not they can execute it correctly. Neofighter going to go to the window, just put a couple of rounds through, finds nothing from it.
Like Finker again?
Finker again. It seems to be quite a priority pick for them. It looks like they are going to take control of this admin office again. They were met with some fairly stiff resistance from Xavier, and a couple more people were rotated up when it was fairly obvious that they were committing their full team to it.
Rizraz saw a leg just there. I think that was healthcare.
Yep.
So he was outside of the break room for a moment.
And
like shotgun.
Yeah, using that FO12. We've seen some very, very good shotgun usage this weekend out of the APAC teams.
Either.
Oh, that's actually very interesting. Maybe he's waiting to see where they're going to be pushing from, so he doesn't have to try and pick up that utility to rotate it around. But the downside from that is, if you get killed, you just don't have them. Yeah.
Well, it looks like it's going to be more of the same from Fnatic as they are going to push on in. Magnet finding the first kill onto Healthcare, and no one nearby to try and even trade this one back. In fact, Producer Boom and Red Sun look like they are going to aggress up onto this top floor, and it looks like Producer Boom is going to find Magnet. He's missed the shot, and Magnet's going to turn around with the pistol and find Producer Boom's head. Is that another missed melee?
That he's went for it again. Why didn't he just shoot them? Producer Boom, you need to learn from your mistakes. That was insane. Magnet has been downed. He has been reset, though, and he's up to 50 health again. So now a 3 versus 5. There goes a flashbang. Like Holston's going to get flashed in the back. He's going to get shot in the back as well, and he's going to get taken out as Lusty gets the kill credit for that. Now a 2 on 5 here. Red Sun is now essentially stuck up here solo, as Hajime is probably going to be left downstairs in case something goes wrong. And I have not a lot of hope for Red Sun right now. He gets droned out. They know where he is. They know he's up here. He's going to miss the shots. A very clever retreat there. And Red Sun is now on these spiral stairs. He needs to peace out. He will drop down. He's going to meet up with Hajime. Going to actually shoot Hajime. Hajime is going to get down by Magnet from the roof as well, leaving it in a 1v5.
Yeah, all right. This is looking like it's over, isn't it? Red Sun 1v5. And there we go. Magnet to finish things off. And Fnatic, a bit of an anticlimactic finish. They absolutely stomped over Xavier here.
They certainly did. A 6-1 finish. That was the statement they wanted to make, to be able to go overseas, to be able to go to Rio final and put any doubts that people had on them from yesterday completely out of their mind.
Yeah, well, that fairy tale run did have to end eventually for Xavier, didn't it? They fought so hard to get to this point, and they also fought so hard in that first map, but once Fnatic, again, once they were on that steamroll, once they were hitting their peak, it was a little bit too much there for Xavier Esports. Maybe next year, maybe next season for them, but Fnatic, they've repeated history now. It's going to be them and Nora Orengo going through to the Pro League Finals, and once again, going through to another APAC Finals.
Yeah, I think that's going to be, it's a great showing by Fnatic. I think people should be fairly happy with the teams that are going forward for the APAC regions to represent them at the International. Nora Orengo, obviously an exceptionally strong team we've seen with their new introduction and their new roster picks. And Fnatic, obviously, quite a strong team within APAC still.
Yeah, quite evident based on the results there. Now, we didn't necessarily expect Xavier to be able to challenge too much against Fnatic. Do you think they've done a good account of themselves at this event? They
definitely showed that their coastline is very strong, especially if they're allowed to get going. Their consulate, unfortunately, not the same. Like, especially where they chose to defend on their 2 rounds of defense, trying out that split bomb site. I don't know, like, we both say it's the weakest bomb site on the map. It's something that, you still needs to be explored. And, they were doing more of exploring and not succeeding.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think that, showing it at this level of play when your back is against the wall as it is, you need to go to something you're going to be more comfortable on. I think they should have gone to another bomb site, garage, top floor, whatever it may be that they want to do. And I just don't think that you should be that capable at split bomb site, that when you're 5 rounds down, you're almost pushed out of the competition, that you bring it out at that point and say, yep, this is us.
Was that more of a strength of Fnatic or a weakness of Xavier, though, on that map? Because we also saw them up against Sengoku getting the 6-2 on Consulate. So to me, based on those 2 results, it just seems like Fnatic's really good on that one.
Yeah, they are. It's one of their strongest maps. They were so happy to be able to pick it up at the draft, and you saw at their draft pick phase that the fact that they picked it up instantly as their map, it seems to be something that they are 100% capable on.
Yeah, definitely. Across the board, it looked like a pretty strong team team performance as well from Fnatic. I heard you guys mention throughout that cast that everyone on the standings was fairly close together, so it wasn't like it was just a one-man wonder or something like that. It was everyone on Fnatic stepping up, which is really good to see. Yeah,
it definitely is. It just shows the depth that that squad has, which is, you know, I probably would have to say the most important thing a squad should have, that they can all rely on each other. Like, they're not relying on just the one fragger to be stepping up and, you know, carrying that team.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone can actually get the frags, it doesn't matter what your support players do because they can frag just as well as your main fraggers can, and I think that's a strong strength of Fnatic.
So obviously we've kind of established that this has been a great showing from Xavier. It was a fairy tale potential for them. It obviously isn't the case, and as it very rarely is as a first team coming into their first big international LAN, they were obviously unable to really topple the Giants, but this is setting themselves up now for a really great performance later on down the track. I'm sure there's going to be more that we're going to get to see from Xavier, maybe next season or even in following seasons.
Yeah, absolutely. I still think Xavier are the strongest team in SEA right now, and I think we're going to see more of them come next season, next year, moving forward.
Yeah, all right. Looks like we're going to head on down to the stage in Tokyo, Japan, for an interview with the Aussie team. So we'll take a little bit of a break here and listen in onto this interview.
Yeah, you did it again. またやりましたね。
さあいろいろとねじゃあねお伺いしてまいりたいと思います。
はい、ではインタビューしてまいりたいと思います。So now let me interview you a little bit as well. So おめでとうございます。まず今のお気持ちを一言お願いいたします。So could you tell us how you feel on winning this round again? Now your turn.
Feeling very happy.
とっても嬉しいです。
We, made it what we wanted, going to Rio for Pro League Finals. Yeah, the whole team is really happy and excited for the upcoming event.
今回のね、試合に勝つことができてとても嬉しいです。決勝に進むこともすごく嬉しいし、本当にやったっていう気持ちでいっぱいです。ありがとうございます。Thank you so much. So congratulations one more time. Next question is, では対戦相手の皆さんはいかがでしたでしょうか。So how was the Xavier Esports? How were they? They were compete very well with you.
We know Norarengo very well, and we just want to put on a fun match at the end for you guys. Obviously, it's an important match, but we love playing Norarengo. It's a lot of fun.
すっごい楽しい試合でした。すごくね、Xavier Esportsも検討されて、すごくね、いい試合だったとおっしゃっています。ありがとうございます。Thank you so much. ね、they all agree with you. 皆さんね、はい、同意されてますけども。So the last question is, それでは最後に決勝の意気込みをお願いいたします。Do you have any resolution for for the final?
Our goal is to get top seed. Sorry, Norarengo, but we're going to try to beat you guys in the finals. Otherwise, just thank you everyone for your support.
皆さんのサポート本当にありがとうございます。ファイナルに向けて精一杯頑張りますので応援してください。ありがとうございます。Thank you so much. Congratulations one more time for you. Thank you.
All right, some fairly interesting answers, fairly straightforward answers there at the end of the day for the Fnatic boys. Talking about their match against Norarengo, they said that they like playing against Norarengo. They have played against Norarengo quite a lot. And now Fnatic actually have to kind of play the villain for the local crowd because they've already knocked out Sengoku. Obviously, Norarengo's not going to get knocked out, but Fnatic, their challenge now is to take out another Japanese team, and that would be kind of a little bit of pressure on their shoulders in that location that they're in.
Yeah, and we heard Magnet say himself, it is important to Fnatic to get that first seed, right? They want to avoid some of the stronger teams going on to Rio, and to do that, they need the first seed. So it is going to be a mandatory objective for them at this weekend.
All right, we'll have a look at these replays as well, just continuing on with the chat about Fnatic. I want to talk about Fnatic up against Norarengo, or not necessarily up against each other in that sense, but after the first match of today, I want to kind of bring back Dev's comments about him saying Norarengo potentially the strongest team in the APAC region. I said, let's wait until the end of this event and then we can potentially find out. Now that we've seen Fnatic there though, do you think they've got enough to kind of challenge Norarengo? Because so far from what we've seen throughout this tournament, Norarengo definitely has had the stronger run through. They got that 2-0 against New Life, and then they got the 2-0 later on as well. Earlier on today, I should say, against Aerowolf. So far, they haven't even dropped a map, whereas Fnatic, they've dropped some maps, and they've had close maps as well.
Yeah, well, Fnatic, I think, they are going to beat Norarengo. Norarengo definitely play an impressive brand of R6, but I feel like it's going to be one that's going to be easily countered here by Fnatic. Like the teamwork mixed with the strategy, is going to be able to completely demolish just the raw fragging power that we see from Norarengo.
Yeah, I would agree as well. I think Fnatic are going to win it. Norarengo, though, are a traditionally a very aggressive team, so I think we could see Fnatic have a bit more of a fight on their hands, but ultimately I am going to back Fnatic. I do think they are going to take it.
Yeah, so there was enough in that matchup there against Xavier. Like, do you think that Fnatic have actually been challenged enough? Because, let's face it, Xavier was, in theory, a bit of a dark horse. They weren't always necessarily going to be the strongest team in the competition. Do you feel as though Norengo have had a more difficult run into the finals up against Aerowolf than what Fnatic had there against Xavier?
I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Like, Norengo had a very easy quarterfinal, and they had a fight with Aerowolf in their hand. Meanwhile, you know, Fnatic were tested by Sengoku in their quarters, but they had a fairly easy semi. So it depends on how you want to look at it. Both of them have had a hard match and an easy match, but it depends on whether or not Fnatic are ready for Nora after their easy match being later.
Where does that leave us as well as far as the rankings within APAC are concerned? Because you look at the certain regions, you look at Korea, look at Japan, you look at Southeast Asia and ANZ, surely there must be at least an idea of which region is stronger than the other. And at the moment, it's looking like Japan and ANZ are certainly up there, with SCA just kind of a little bit behind them, and then Korea maybe trailing a little bit behind.
It's just the whole depth in the whole region. It's very hard to pin down, and if we were to do something a week later, it would be completely different. Like, you know, last Pro League finals, or sorry, 2 Pro League finals ago, we had Mantis going overseas. So it's just how quickly things change in this region. So, you know, I'd probably have to say we're going to still stick with Fnatic as the top dog, but if they lose to Norengo, it might be them taking it as the #1.
Definitely lots to think about in that upcoming final. First, though, we are going to have an exhibition match, and before that, we're going to have to head to a break. But don't go anywhere, guys. We've still got a couple more important matches coming up, and after this, it is going to be the exhibition match. So we'll be back shortly with the exhibition match.
Is not on their side.
Oh, and here comes Aces peeking out onto the black pit. Doesn't manage to take him out as Rizraz and amongst all this has found Producer Boom. Aces finally finds the head of Red Sun. Aces picks him up as second. Aces gets a 3K through, and they're both staring at each other through the wall. Magnet wins the trade though, manages to hit the head on Hajime. Rizraz gets himself a kill onto Healthcare. Finally, they push that out, but a run from Producer Boom will get the nice flank. Producer Boom loses a fight towards, I believe that was the statement they wanted to make, to be able to go overseas, to be able to go to Rio final. Put any